Today is the start of my solar panel, solar generator. I guess you would call it a big experiment. I wanted to see if these things really worked for practical applications. If you are into camping, RVing, anything related to off-grid, you've probably seen videos on these. These are just two of the top 3 or 4 models out there, and there's really no good reviews of them, practical real world reviews of them. There's one guy out there who does reviews on like a bench top. He plugs a bunch of meters into it and it tells you if it's good or bad. But I wanted to see real world scenarios with real solar panels, not something that mimics a solar panel, and real devices like a furnace for your camper or a microwave. These companies are giving these out like candy to all these YouTube channels. And that's actually how I got these. They sent these to my other YouTube channel. They sent these 3 solar panels to my other YouTube channel. Basically, they just wanted me to put them in a video. This channel is not sponsored by any of these. I'm not even going to tag the companies because I don't want the attention. I still want the other channel to get free stuff. But here is a place where I can test it out. So that is what this video series is going to focus on for the next three videos, and what problems I've had and what it's like dealing with the companies for customer service. Today I'm going to be installing these 3 solar panels on the top of my pickup truck. It's going to be 300 watts. I also have 300 watts of flexible panels that are right over there. My initial testing said that they were crap. They were only putting out about 50% last summer in direct sunlight. And that was directly comparing one of these glass monocrystalline panels to one of these flexible panels. These things are still brand new. I may do some more testing with thicker gauge wiring. These are going on the roof of the truck. Those may go on the roof of the camper in the future. I've got 2 sticks of 6061 T6 aluminum, 0.125 wall thickness. I'm just gonna do some center punches, drill holes, and then bolt these to each one. So they're gonna be right about here and right about there, and then it will get U-bolted to the roof rack that's on the pickup truck. Now in the summertime, actually it was fall, I was getting 85 watts per panel, which is pretty good for not being the middle of summer. What is that, June something? I got sent a EcoFlow Delta 1300 watt hour lithium ion solar generator is what they're calling them. I'll get that out in a second once we get these screwed together. I've got some stainless steel 1/4 bolts, nylon locking nuts, along with some stainless steel washers. So hopefully this goes as I planned, and I bolt this side on and then bolt the other side on. Here's kind of close up of what it looks like. That's the loose one. That one's snug down. I'm going to go ahead and get all these tightened down on both sides. Make sure it's square. And we are running out of daylight, so we may have to pick this up in the morning. Here we go. Got the panels out in the sun on, what is it, March 10th. I have them slightly angled. If I angle them any more, it'll put too much into this little solar generator here, trigger the overload, and then like kick off the charge controller and then start over and build back up to getting close to 300 watts and then trip and then go back down. And this is all done via like a computer inside the solar generator. So I've decreased the angle so that the input wattage, and I'll show you on the digital readout, is right at 250, and it's a steady 250. This is wired in series, so it adds the voltage, but the amps stay the same. So amps would be like 5.5 total, and we've got about 18 and some odd volts that gets added together. This here takes a maximum of 65 volts at 10 amps. So we're always going to be under our amps. So what I think is happening when I get these solar panels angled is I'm over voltaging the MPPT charge controller that is inside this thing. Right there you can see it's hovering right at 245. Oh, maybe it went over 245, 250-ish input watts. Output watts is only 25. So this is plugged directly into the camper right now. Nothing's on except the converter. So it is trickle charging, maintaining the lead acid battery that's on the front of the camper. So at this rate here, we should basically be charging, because we're putting more watts in than is going out. It's at 89%. It says 26 hours remaining, 27 hours. Probably going to work its way up. I'm going to leave this plugged in for a little while before I mount it on the truck, just to kind of keep an eye on it and see it just bumped up to 90%. I'm going to put this at a higher angle to the sun, and you'll see that input watts increase. We're sitting there right about 245. I'm just going to raise this up a little bit, and you'll see it zero out. $270, $271. Actually, that's not too bad. Maybe the sun moved a little bit. Let me see here. Well, that's good. Before it was zeroing out when I had it at a higher angle to the sun. Could be just because the sun's moved off to the right and still isn't a direct, there it goes, it's zeroed out. But 260, just 270, see it's zeroed out again. So it gets up to 270, 69, 274. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that, especially considering that this is March. So what is the equivalent? This is probably late fall, the same sun angle that late fall would be. And actually, maybe not late fall. This is about October. So this is pretty much hunting season as far as daylight hours and sun angle. I may end up putting a real solar system on the camper, or even just a better MPPT charge controller, so that I can, in the summertime, get max voltage going into some sort of storage, whether it's lead acid batteries, maybe I get a Battleborn battery or something like that. I just kicked on my furnace inside the camper. So the furnace is a 12-volt furnace. Obviously it runs off propane, but the fan is the largest consumer of electricity, like battery electricity, in the camper. So it looks like as long as the furnace is on, it's going to be consuming about 100 watts. Only when it's on, though. So if it's on for a total of 3 hours overnight, that's 300 watts. And in the daytime, if I'm putting in 270 watts, that gives me about an hour and a half before I put what was taken out back in. Even if it's 400, 500 watts, that puts me at just 2 hours to top this back off in the morning. Because that's kind of our biggest concern. We're heading up to the Rocky Mountain National Park tonight, and we're going to be running that furnace. We'll probably be, I don't know, maybe 8,000 feet. It'll be a low of probably 28 degrees, and we're expecting sun tomorrow morning. So hopefully this works out and we do not have to get out the generator. I always have the Honda 2000 generator as a backup. This is looking pretty good. Running the furnace and still putting in 150, 160 watts. So the next video in this series, we take the camper, the truck, the solar panels. I hadn't even gotten this one yet. So we take this one to Rocky Mountain National Park. That's before the Nazis shut it down. Kind of give you a real world use. And you'll find out the shortcomings of this thing. Dramatic shortcomings of this in the next video. We barbecue up some elk, lots of good scenery, some wildlife. So you're going to want to hit the subscribe button and the like button and the bell button so that you don't miss it. Goodbye.